For the first time ever, the average cost of a new car in the U.S. topped $50,000. But the good news is the average lifespan of a car is also breaking records.
So what's the new car market looking like for 2026? The trends, the technology that we're going to see?
We're going to see prices elevated to a degree, but also remaining somewhat stable.
Okay, we'll take stable at this point. So stabilization is good. Brian, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Yes, thank you.
I just watched a BMW X3 go from $22,000 to $14,000 to $8,000. And still, not a single hand went up. That's not a bad day at auction. That's a signal. Used car prices are about to drop 25%, and the dealer panic that's causing it is happening right now, behind doors the public never gets to walk through. I was there yesterday. A dealer-only auction. The kind of place where the real prices get decided, before anything ever hits a lot near you. And what I saw wasn't just one struggling BMW. It was the same Silverado from last week, the same Tahoe, the same Tundra, running through the lanes again, and again, and again. Nobody buying, dealers drowning, and the clock ticking on a window that most car buyers don't even know exists. Here's what nobody is telling you. The panic signal is already in the data. Dealers can see it. Manufacturers can see it. So why is everyone still paying full price? The first thing you need to understand is that a dealer auction is not a place you or I can walk into off the street. There are no public buyers, no casual shoppers, no one browsing on a lunch break. This is wholesale only. Licensed dealers, buying and selling inventory completely out of public view. No retail markup yet. No window stickers. Just the raw, unfiltered price the market is actually willing to pay. And that number, that real number, is what eventually becomes the price on the lot near you. Which means what happens inside these auctions is not some behind-the-scenes industry detail that doesn't affect you. It affects you directly. Every trade-in value your dealer quotes you, every asking price on a used vehicle, every offer you get when you try to sell, all of it flows downstream from what dealers are willing to pay each other in these lanes. Right now, what they are willing to pay is telling an uncomfortable story. I walked the lanes before the bidding started, the way I always do. And that's when I started noticing something that stopped me cold. A Silverado I recognized from the week before. A Tahoe sitting in the exact same spot. A Tundra that I had watched run 7 days ago. A Jeep I had personally looked at the previous week. An F-150 collecting dust in the corner. None of them had sold. All of them were running again. In a healthy market, this does not happen. Vehicles come in, dealers bid, cars sell, everyone moves on. That's how it's supposed to work. When the same trucks and SUVs keep showing up week after week with no takers, that is not a coincidence. That is a red flag the size of a billboard. And here is the part that should get your attention. These vehicles aren't mystery cars with unknown histories. Dealers know exactly what they are. They just don't want them at any price the sellers are willing to accept. That gap is the signal, and it's getting wider every single week. To understand why those trucks keep circling the auction lanes unsold, you have to go back a few years. From 2021 through 2024, the used car market was running on fumes and fantasy. Inventory was scarce. The chip shortage had choked new car production. Dealers were desperate for anything they could put on their lots. So when a customer walked in with a trade-in, dealers stopped being careful. They started being aggressive, offering inflated values just to win the deal and secure the vehicle. It worked beautifully when prices kept climbing. Every car they overpaid for today was worth even more tomorrow. Then prices stopped climbing, and the dealers who had been playing offense were suddenly completely exposed. Now those same vehicles they overpaid for are worth thousands less than what they have in them. They are underwater, trapped holding inventory that the market simply will not support at the price they need to break even. So they do the only thing they can. They bring those vehicles to auction, hoping someone will take them off their hands. But buyers at auction are not there to do anyone a favor. Every dealer bidding in those lanes knows what these vehicles are actually worth right now. They are not going to pay an inflated number just to bail out a competitor who made bad bets during the shortage years. And here is where the spiral starts. Most sellers set what is called a reserve price, a floor below which they refuse to sell. When bidding does not reach that number, the car does not sell. It comes back next week, and the week after that. And every week it comes back. Something invisible but devastating happens to its value. Buyers start wondering what is wrong with it. Suspicion poisons the price, even when there is nothing actually wrong with the vehicle. Dealers who could have recovered decent money on week 1 are now looking at serious losses by week 3 or 4. Some of them hold out anyway, convinced the market will turn around in time to save them. It will not. The inventory bubble explains why dealers are stuck, but it does not fully explain why early 2026 is hitting the used car market this hard, this fast. The timing could not be worse. Think about where we are on the calendar right now. Christmas just happened. Families spent money they did not have on gifts, travel, holiday dinners. Credit cards are maxed. Bank accounts are drained. The last thing most households are thinking about right now is walking onto a car lot and making one of the biggest purchases of their year. This happens every single January without fail. The weeks immediately after the holidays are always the slowest stretch of the entire year for car sales. But this year, the holiday hangover is only half the problem. There is a gap in the used car market that most people never think about. A massive percentage of used car buyers depend on their tax refund check for the down payment that gets them into a vehicle. That chunk of money from the government is what makes the deal possible for millions of buyers. And those refund checks do not start landing in bank accounts until late February or March at the earliest. So right now, dealers are sitting in a 6 to 8 week dead zone. Buyer traffic has fallen off a cliff. Lots are full. Phones are quiet. And every single day that passes, the inventory sitting on those lots depreciates a little more. It gets worse. When dealers cannot move what they already have, they stop buying at auction. Why would they add more vehicles to a lot that is already overwhelmed? So they stay home. Fewer bidders show up at auction. Less competition means lower sale prices. Lower auction prices drag down trade-in values at retail lots, which makes even more dealers nervous about buying anything new. It feeds on itself. A downward spiral that keeps accelerating the longer the dead zone lasts. One dealer I spoke with said it plainly. The lots are full, the buyers are not showing up, and the calendar is working against us. He is not wrong. And the window. This creates for buyers who are paying attention is very real. If you want to see where the used car market is bleeding the fastest right now, look at European luxury vehicles. These things are getting absolutely crushed at auction. And I watched it happen in real time. A 2018 BMW X3 rolled through the lanes. Decent mileage, clean body, the kind of SUV that looks impressive sitting in a driveway and commands attention at a stoplight. The auctioneer opened bidding at $22,000. Nobody moved. He dropped it to $14,000. Still nothing. Dropped again to $8,000 just to shake something loose. That is when I saw the dashboard. Refill coolant. Shut motor down. The warning lights were glowing right there on the screen for every dealer in the room to see. And every experienced buyer in those lanes knew immediately what coolant issues mean on a BMW. It does not mean a $12 jug of coolant from the auto parts store. It means expensive problems hiding under that hood. Bidding eventually crawled up to around $11,000 to $12,000. It still did not meet the reserve. No sale. Think about that gap for a second. That BMW could retail for $18,000 to $20,000 on a dealer lot. But professionals who buy cars for a living, people who do this every single week, would not pay $12,000 for it. Someone has to absorb that spread. And it is usually the consumer who does not know what those warning lights actually cost to fix. Then came the 2007 Mercedes E350. Over 200,000 miles, but the body actually looked decent for the age. Someone had taken care of the outside. The problem was the fuel pump had died. The car would not even drive through the lane under its own power. Bidding stalled at $500. $500 for a Mercedes. It went to phone call. It probably did not sell. Here is what both of those stories are really telling you. The gap between what consumers think European luxury vehicles are worth and what dealers will actually pay has become a canyon, and that canyon is still growing. Here is where most people assume they are safe. Toyota, Lexus, the reliability kings, the brands that practically sell themselves at auction because every dealer in the room knows they will run forever. If any vehicles were going to hold their value through a market correction, it would be these. That assumption is getting expensive right now. Even the bulletproof brands are taking hits. And what I watched happen to two specific vehicles at that auction should change the way you think about brand loyalty in a soft market. A 2012 Lexus RX 350 came through with 185,000 miles on it. I love these vehicles. They drive well, they look sharp, and they are not outrageously priced compared to other luxury SUVs with similar mileage. Normally, this thing would spark real interest in the room. The outside looked solid, a few light scratches, nothing that could not be buffed out. But I had seen this exact Lexus before. It had run the week prior, maybe the week before that too. It kept coming back without selling. Then I saw why. There was a massive gash in the driver's seat, a hole so large you could fit your fist through it. The clever part is, you would never notice it during the auction run itself, because there is always a driver sitting in that seat as the car moves through the lane, covering the damage the entire time. Bidding reached $6,100 and stalled. Went to phone call, did not sell, again. The Toyota Sequoia that followed was even harder to watch. A 2007 model with 235,000 miles, spray-painted white over the original black, with patches of dark paint bleeding through in spots. Interior torn up. Everything about it screamed years of deferred maintenance. The auctioneer started at $3,500. No bids. Dropped to $2,500. Nothing. Finally moved at $2,000. $2,000 for a Toyota Sequoia. 2 years ago, that same truck would have had dealers fighting over it, despite every flaw. The badge on the hood does not guarantee anything in this market. Condition is everything now. Not everything is struggling. Some vehicles are still moving at auction, and the ones that actually sell right now reveal exactly what the smart money is chasing. But they also reveal something else. A warning that most buyers walking onto a retail lot would never catch on their own. A 2019 Toyota Tundra rolled through with 101,000 miles on it. The 5.7-liter V8 that everyone wants. Red paint, clean body, no major dents, no rust, which matters more than most people realize when you are buying a used truck. From the outside, this thing looked exactly like what a careful, informed buyer would target in this market. Solid brand, desirable engine, presentable condition. Bidding opened at $25,000. At first, nobody moved. Then the numbers started trickling in. $26,000. Then $27,000. It finally sold at $27,600. In a room full of vehicles that could not find a single taker, this truck sold. That tells you something important about what the market still respects. But here is what most people in that room noticed that a regular buyer would have completely missed. The auctioneer announced it was selling as is. That is auction language for a known problem exists, and the seller is not standing behind it. And hanging from the rearview mirror was a small inventory tag, the kind that franchise dealership service departments attach when their own technicians have inspected a vehicle and flagged it for needed repairs. Think about what that tag means. A Toyota dealer looked at this Tundra, found something wrong, and decided it was better to dump it at wholesale auction than fix it and sell it on their own lot. When a Toyota dealer will not retail a Toyota, that is not a minor issue they found. That truck will likely show up on a used lot next week priced at $32,000 to $35,000. The dealer who bought it knows exactly what is wrong. The customer who walks onto that lot probably will not. What commands real money right now is clean history, low miles, and zero red flags. Everything else is negotiable, heavily negotiable. So what do you actually do with everything you now know? First, understand the timing. Right now, in early 2026, buyers have leverage they have not had in years. Dealers are sitting on aging inventory. Every week that passes costs them money they are not getting back. They are motivated to make deals in a way that was completely unthinkable 2 years ago. But this window will not stay open forever. Once tax refund season hits in late February and March, buyer traffic returns, competition increases, and dealer desperation fades. If you are serious about buying, move before that wave arrives. Second, know where your negotiation room actually lives. The gap between wholesale auction prices and retail lot prices is wider than normal right now because dealers are scared to publicly drop their asking prices. Walk in armed with that information. Ask how long they have owned the vehicle. Research wholesale values before you ever set foot on the lot. When you understand what the dealer actually paid, you understand exactly how much room exists to negotiate. Third, target the right vehicles. Minor cosmetic damage gets destroyed at auction, but often means a perfectly functional car at a serious discount. Higher mileage examples of reliable models are being avoided out of fear, not fact. That fear is your opportunity if you do your homework first. Fourth, know what to avoid. As-is sales without a clear explanation of why. Warning lights priced only slightly below normal retail. Service tags from other dealerships still hanging from the mirror. Anything that looks like it was flipped quickly from auction to lot deserves serious scrutiny before you sign anything. Fifth, consider private sellers. Many of them have no idea wholesale values have collapsed. A motivated private seller with a listing sitting 30 days or more may accept prices much closer to what a dealer would pay at auction. The entire game comes down to one thing. Dealers know this market is soft. Most consumers walking onto lots right now have absolutely no idea. That gap between what they know and what you know is exactly where money gets saved or wasted. Now you know. Use it. Go back to that auction floor for a second. The same Silverado running through the lanes for the third week in a row. The same Tahoe sitting in the corner with no takers. The same Tundra that every dealer in the room has already walked past, looked at, and walked away from. These are not mystery vehicles. These are not hidden lemons. These are trucks that ran perfectly fine until the market stopped pretending they were worth what dealers paid for them. That is the signal. And it has been waving in plain sight for months. The used car market is going through a correction that most consumers do not even know is happening. Dealers are aware. Auction buyers are aware. The people who move inventory for a living are completely aware. They are adjusting their behavior right now based on what they are seeing in these lanes every single week. The only people who are not aware are the ones walking onto retail lots without this information, paying prices that the wholesale market stopped supporting months ago. That does not have to be you. The window that exists right now is real. Dealer desperation is real. The gap between what vehicles are selling for at auction and what lots are still asking retail is real. But windows close. Tax refund season will bring buyers back. Inventory will start moving again. Dealer confidence will return. And when that happens, the leverage shifts back to the seller and away from you. The buyers who win in a market correction are never the ones who waited until everyone else figured it out. They are the ones who moved with information, while everyone else was still operating on assumption. You now have that information. And if you want to take it one step further before you buy anything in 2026, I put together a free ebook called Avoid These 17 Cars in 2026. It covers the specific models I would tell my own family to stay away from this year. Every single one of them has a problem the sticker price will never mention. The link is in the description. Download it before you buy anything.